Hey, my name's Ryan, and I wanted to tell you a little story and talk a little bit about society in general and what things could look like in a collapse and some things we need to think about for thinking about it actually going down. Uh, so, there are a group of Jews who know me as the kitchen Nazi. They say it lovingly, believe it or not. Um, I've been to a bunch of rainbow gatherings, and the way rainbow gatherings are set up, uh, the specific ones are nationals, which are large. Uh, I've been to national gatherings with tens of thousands of people, and they happen in a national forest, all centered around July 4th. Um, they're officially a week long. People are there for a couple of weeks ahead of time and a couple of weeks after, cleaning up and setting up and then cleaning up. Rainbow gatherings, everything's free. You're not supposed to sell anything there. Now, I haven't been in a few years, so I can't verify with everything that's going on at them now. I hear things here and there, but uh, it's everything's free. It's usually kind of way out away from where everybody parks. You have to hike in. There's separate kitchens, and a kitchen is like a group of people, and they build a kitchen out in the woods and cook for their community, but then usually you'll cook for your community for 2 meals a day, and then 1 meal a day, everybody cooks for the whole group or most of it, and then everybody meets together, and there's some ceremonial kind of stuff, and then you go and feed people that are at the big group. And sometimes, depending on which kitchen you're in and what your abilities are, you could be feeding anywhere from 50 to 500 or more people. I mean, we're talking, there's kitchens that make huge pots, giant pots of food, and they'll make multiple of those pots and take them all the way to where everybody's meeting and hand out all that food. Now, there's a lot of good that comes out of this, and it's a neat experience that I highly recommend most people try at least once. There's a lot to learn from it, even if it's not your vibe. There's a lot that you can learn from it, and I'll talk about some of that here and maybe in some other videos. But there's a problem when you're feeding large groups of people, and this goes in our society as well. But it becomes very acute rapidly in a wilderness area with people who aren't used to following rules. And that is that it can become a dangerous situation if people aren't sanitary. And if somebody is sick and they're not being sanitary, that can cause a big problem. I've yet to get any foodborne illness at a rainbow gathering. I did get Giardia once, though, I believe from water that was either mislabeled or something went wrong with the filter system or something. But I woke up with Giardia in a hammock one time and tried jumping out of the hammock and ended up falling and getting stuck halfway in the hammock, and it was rough. It was rough, let's just say. Don't recommend Giardia. But, it can get a lot worse than that. People can die from fecal borne illnesses. And I got to be known as the kitchen Nazi because one particular year, I was at the Jewish kitchen. One of the guys involved with the kitchen is one of my favorite people in America. I love talking with the guy. We just have the greatest conversations. And super interesting, super intelligent. I really appreciate this guy. And so I hung out with the Jewish Kitchen one year. And I did a lot of cooking for him. And when I'm cooking and I'm going to be handing out food and telling people that I made that food, I don't want them getting sick. And some people in America, and this goes for all, I've seen it from every race. Some people either don't have any common sense, or they just, for whatever reason, don't care, but if I'm cooking food for people, you don't get to stick your fingers in it and lick your finger and stick it back in the pot. Like, that's not happening. I will go full kitchen Nazi on you. But it's an important lesson, I think, to learn, to be aware of, because if we ever do end up in a situation where there's civil conflict, or society collapses, or there's some kind of revolutionary war, and there's groups of Americans, cooking over an open fire in the middle of the woods, sharing what food they can put together into a pot. If you got 10 people in that camp, one of them's going to think it's okay to stick his dirty hands in the pot of food that's about to be served to everybody else. And that can kill people. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable behavior, and it shouldn't be allowed. And you've got to have somebody there willing to say, cut it out. I'm not having it. Not going to happen. I'm drawing a line in the sand. Because those people will kill people. Because they just don't care. Or they think they're better than the rule. They think they're, it's infuriating. It really is. And it doesn't just apply to the kitchen. It applies to the where everybody uses the bathroom. And that, I'm going to make a whole video about this. But here's the thing. One person not following the bathroom rules can get everybody in camp sick. But if everybody follows the rules, nobody gets sick. Nobody dies. Nobody gets sick. But there's always one son of a gun who can't follow the basic safety rules, or they just don't care. They don't care if they kill you because they're too freaking lazy or stupid or whatever to cover it up when they're done. And that's probably the most dangerous person in your group if you're trying to survive in a grid down situation. And you're going to need a kitchen Nazi. Same thing goes for fires. I've seen, we have rules about fires at rainbow gatherings. We don't have a lot of rules, but we got some basic rules to pay attention to. And if everybody follows the rules, things go fine. But there's always somebody, or one kitchen, or one camp, or one person who doesn't care what the rules are, and they end up lighting the tree canopy on fire in a place where there's thousands of people camped out with their families. It's infuriating. And there's people who just don't care, won't listen, or are incapable of doing the most basic things, or they think the rules don't apply to them. And you know what? There's some rules that are bull. I'm breaking a rule right now. I'm not supposed to be hanging here in a hammock. I'm not supposed to sleep here tonight, and I'm going to. But nobody's going to die or get hurt because of it. Nobody's going to get sick. Nobody's getting Giardia because I'm up here camping. No, nothing bad is going to happen to anybody. But, you know, there's other homeless people who do the same thing I'm doing and think it's okay to get drunk and have a campfire during fire season. So, you know, but it's those kind of people that need to be corrected. And if you have to yell and throw out some German at them, so be it. Call me the kitchen Nazi. I'm happy to save people's lives, to enforce basic sanitation. And you know what? The people's lives you're saving, they appreciate you. That the jerk bag won't, but everybody else will. Thanks for tuning in. I'd love a like, share, subscribe, comment down below, ask me questions, call me names. Thanks for tuning in. There'll be a Cash App in the description. Everybody have a great night. God bless.